because like I have work and family.
Of course.
Overwatch is just like a hobby, but I do like to have a goal, like have something to work on when I play,
Yes.
like maybe
Yes.
a cover usage or something.
Yes.
So like, and also I've been like having some like just confusion about like my hero pool and like my time management. So I thought it would be cool. And also I'm a big fan. I like I watch all your videos, maybe too much of your video, but
I appreciate that very much. That's very kind of you.
so yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm kind of like the same as you, which is a bit ironic considering my job. But like, I don't really have a real reason to play nowadays outside of just for fun or for learning something so that I can coach it better. But I do enjoy having goals. Like, it does make the game more fun for me. And I think it's helpful for a game like Overwatch 2 just because it is really stressful. So that like it could be a little bit frustrating if you don't have a goal. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly,
like knowing
exactly,
knowing what I'm here to practice can help keep me focused even if the game feels a little bad here and there. So okay.
exactly.
Now obviously this is where we get to the forum part. So well, I guess before we get to the forum part, how long have you been playing? And have you
Since
always been
the
a tank
start.
player? Okay, have you always been a tank player?
No, actually, I like mobility and aim. So I have like played like Tracer, Sombra, like BAP. I played all roles, but like I recently, most of the time I play tank because tank Q is the shortest, and
Yep.
because like not a lot of people like to, because I enjoy three roles equally, I think. So
I think I'm the
I
same.
think I kind of do like some give back to the community by playing the worst role. So just so we help out. That's my
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It definitely like it feels good with the queues as well. Like you get so spoiled that sometimes I'll jump into like a support queue and I'm like, oh man, I don't like this at all. Um, okay, so Doomfist, Malgazaria, why those tanks? Is that still the case? Break me down.
Did I put Doomfist Malgazaria on the?
Yeah, Doomfist, Malgazaria,
That's
current hero
crazy.
pool.
Okay, that okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, um so mostly I like two hero pools a lot. So I feel like with my playtime, I just can't maintain three heroes and then improve on three of them.
Yeah.
So I've been liking two. So I think the last really successful was before the season 9 change. I kind of did a ball diva hero pool, and that was great because that's my two favorite tanks. Um, I was feeling really good on that, and I was climbing. I think I got to like Diamond 1. I think I was like one game away from Master, which I never would achieve the Master. So that was really cool. Um, but then the season 9 patch, the 20% the anti-heal thing came out. So I like so how I did the diva ball thing was if I can mess with the backline, I just play ball. If I can't, I just play diva, and I trade the front line efficiently, hopefully. And I build the support all, and I win like that. Then
Yep.
after the 20% thing, I just couldn't do this playstyle with Diva. So I like on the small maps against Zarya's, like it was really bad. So I kind of just ditched that hero pool, and I was just messing around for like season 9 and season 10. Maybe that's why I put like the Doomfist
Yeah, it could
Malga,
be. It could be.
because
Yeah.
I was looking for like like a two hero that don't feel bad in any situation was my
Right.
goal. I did like Doomfist for like a season. I just checked today. I logged 100 hours on Doomfist, but I was so bad. Like any other tanks, I can get to like flat at least easily. Doom, I spent 100 hours. I was like while reviewing, practicing. I was looking, I had that my notes are like 2 pages long, and I was practicing one thing at a time, but I was still like high gold. That was one night I got to plat, but like I had like a 360 hertz monitor, and my aim just got so much good that night, and I got to plat. But normally I'm like high gold. So that was one hero pool, and then like last season I tried like Diva Zarya, I guess. And I was like high plat. Oh, then the latest hero pool was because I asked, I saw a Diva like OTP streamer, and he was like top 50. And I asked him what's the best complementary hero to Diva, and he said Winston, because like Winston counters all the Diva counters. And I did that, and it felt great. Like I always have a good hero for a good situation. But then my diva tracking just got so much worse because I play half of the time Winston. I feel like I'm not practicing. Like when I have to play diva, like my tracking just doesn't feel good. Like when I fly onto somebody, try to one shot them, it gets sloppy. So
Right.
like I don't know. That's my
Interesting.
hero situation. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It sounds like there's a lot of like fluctuations. I like the two hero approach. But even if you're only playing 8 hours a week, I don't think that mechanics should be a huge concern. Now it might have to do with how you're warming up, or I mean I do think that like if you're aiming for, let's say, masters, 8 hours a week might be difficult to achieve
Oh no,
mechanically,
no, yeah, I'm
right?
not thinking about that.
Of course, but I don't think it should be too much of a problem, and it's probably not the reason why you're struggling exclusively. A couple
Yeah.
of tips that might help you. I would make sure that even if you're playing tank, you are warming up. Are you warming up right now?
I like when I'm because like I have two modes, I guess. So like that's kind of the time management. The second question, but we can talk about that together. So
Sure.
like basically when I work, right? So like I have the 5 day work day. I'll play maybe like 2 days, and but that's like when I'm extremely tired after a long day of work. I may play like 1 hour, 2 hour. So that's like autopilot, and I don't warm up for that. I just because like I'm already like I just want to have some fun.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
on one day of the weekend, one day of the 2 weekend days, I will
Yes.
have a whole day and I can play. I normally play maybe like 4 hours. Yes, and for that I do
Yes.
warm up and I play on like a second account, which I always try hard.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I would say if you're playing for fun, even if you're playing for fun, it might be useful to spend 3 or 4 minutes to warm up. Just 3 or 4 minutes. And when you're warming up, I think if you're playing something like Diva, Vaxta might not be too bad. Are you familiar with Vaxta code?
Yes.
Yeah, so that might be a small thing. It won't fix everything, but it might help a little bit. Whether you're playing Doomfist, Diva, anything like that. Honestly, even Winston, just to accurately land your jumps and practice your alternate fire. Just something about repeatedly doing it over and over and over again might be somewhat useful for you.
So
Now,
you
right?
think that's different from just playing? Let's say I played a ranked game. Would that
Yes.
be less warmed up
Yes,
than the
last
five
one.
minutes warm up?
Yes, yes, because it's constant when you're in Vaxta. Always. You never die, you never respawn, you never pick your hero, you're never in queue. You just go. And you go 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 and you go. You have different hitboxes, some of them move unpredictably. I think it's much better. I think it's much better. Now,
Okay,
I would do
got
it
it.
for only a few minutes because it's very boring, right? So 3 or 4 minutes, just fully out, then jump into comp game and go from there. Sound good?
Yeah, sometimes I put on like a podcast and I just play
Perfect.
Vaxstar,
That's
and
that's
it's
that's
it's
great.
chill.
That's great.
Uh,
That's great. But for what I want for you to do for you is not even necessarily like aim training. It's just a fast, quick warm up. So maybe you listen to one song, a little bit, and then you're done. Now, right now, what is your hero pool looking like? Your two heroes.
Oh boy, I don't like from last season. It was Winston, Diva, and the thing I don't like is like I said, like I feel like my Diva mechanics were
Yeah.
getting worse.
Yeah.
Then this season, because it just started after the new patch, I was kind of messing around. Today I
Sure.
tried like Diva Sigma hero pool, then I
Yep.
tried like
I think they're
Diva
strong right
Zarya.
now. I think that she's
Yeah,
strong
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I
Sounds
don't
good.
know. I don't know.
Okay.
Like I don't know. I need your help.
Sure, sure. So this is where I'm frankly going to say, out of those three tanks that you named, they're probably all going to be at least okay this season. And I don't think any of those tanks are going to be actively really bad. So then all that means for you is which one do you really enjoy playing? And which one do you think that you're probably going to stick with?
Okay, so let's hypothetically, let's say I pick because I enjoy them when they are when it's good, but it's like the bad scenarios when it's bad,
Yes.
right? So for example, today I played like a Diva Zarya hero pool on Luna Seppi.
Yes.
It was all like long hit scans, like
Yes.
long range, and the
Difficult.
map is kind of open,
Yes.
right? So
Very
that's when
difficult.
I like really thought, oh, if I had Sigma in my single hero pool,
Yes.
I would eat them, but
Yes. Yes.
right.
I would say Sigma Diva, Sigma Zarya are probably going to be better hero pool, just because you
Okay,
have.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I tried it, right. So the Diva Sigma, I think I might do that, but the only thing I don't like is small map with rush,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I don't know.
But at least you have ways of outplaying with those two characters, right?
Yeah, that's
Whereas
what
if you
I
play,
need you to teach
if
me
you had
how to do
If you
that.
played Sigma Zarya on, like, let's say Dorado, oof, that's tough, right? That's tough, right? That's very, very difficult. Like Sigma Zarya versus a Winston or a Wrecking Ball on, like, let's say we played Sigma Zarya on a lot of the Flashpoint maps, so like Busan, Sanctuary, right? It's okay, but it might feel quite difficult. I think Sigma DV have options. Now, to be very clear, at your rank, it's not that important. So if you want
Yep.
to have a Diva Zarya hero pool, you can make it work. You can make it work. You might have to be creative, but you can make it work. And I think that that's something that I want to get into, because when you said earlier in this discussion, you said, I have this play style of I would trade tanks or flank with ball. I would trade tanks with Diva or flank with ball, right? DPS passive comes in. I'm not able to trade tanks as effectively. I'm not sure what to do. That to me highlights a lack of flexibility, not in your hero pool, but in how you're playing the character. Because if you look at
Yep.
something like a Diva, Diva is the most flexible tank in the game. The most flexible tank in the game in terms of whether she should shoot tank, shoot backline, shoot DPS on a flank, peel for her team. Diva does everything. So if you're not able to adjust your playstyle depending on the situation, you are going to have some bad problems, right? You're going to have some bad problems. Diva could trade with a Winston or a Ball or a Doomfist, sometimes even a Malga or a Roadhog. It's not bad to tank trade. But you got a Zarya, Ryan, Sigma even sometimes. It's going to be hard, right? It's going to be hard. So we'll have to take a look here. Now, in terms of your hero pool, again, I think that Sigma, Diva, Zarya, if those are the tanks that you enjoy the most, just pick two that you enjoy the most and learn how to adjust depending on the situation.
So like on like a general note,
Yes.
small map against Rush. If I say I have Diva Sigma, what do I look for?
What? Give me the map. Tell me
What
the
should
map exactly. Which map?
control center?
Control center. Sigma can be fine. You can create. It's obviously more brawly. You'd have to play a little more patiently, but you can do it. Poke out the tank from a little bit of distance, slowly take space, save your accretion for when that tank looks to aggress on you, and then rock them. You get what I'm saying? Have Flux as something to use when they aggress on you. You could also play Diva on that map. Utilize the choke in white, utilize the verticality around point, utilize the high ground above. It's possible. But I think Sigma's totally fine there. Sigma's
Okay, hey,
totally fine.
one more scenario, then we
Please,
can move
totally
on.
fine, please.
So I can vote third point.
Yes. Sigma's with.
Diva. I get. But
Oh, okay. Keep going.
yeah,
Sorry.
sure. What? Because I used to do the tank trade thing on this point, but
Yes.
then right, let's say like Zarya in front, then maybe the like Torb,
Yeah,
Brig,
rough, right? Very
Ana.
hard.
I don't
Yeah,
know how to get to the back line.
early third point, very difficult. Very difficult. Late third point attack, let's say. You have the little high ground right around before the point capture. You have the little chandelier above point as well. You remember what I'm talking about? The little
Yep,
light.
yep.
Those you can play around that. It's awkward, but there are high grounds late third point that you can play around. Early third point, rough. That's rough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I think I'll stick with the Sigma Diva
Seems good.
this
Seems good.
season. Yeah.
Seems very good. And obviously that can change if you want to change it because you're not having fun with the character. Totally fine. Totally fine. But I think those characters.
Do you think the Sigma aim and Diva aim do they do bad to each other?
No,
Do they
no.
hurt? No.
I don't want you to think too much about different aim styles. It doesn't matter that much. If you put the world's best hit scan player on Sigma, his aim would be good. Would it be
Okay.
perfect? No, but it would be good. And vice versa. It's fine. Aim is aim. What you're really training is not necessarily your muscle memory, but your eyes, and your eyes knowing this is where I want to put my crosshair. And that is a skill that carries over from all characters. It's not perfect, but it's very close. The fastest person that you know is probably pretty good at jumping. And the person that is the best at jumping is probably pretty fast. Are jumping and running really fast the same skill? No, but they're very similar. Does that make sense?
Okay, would you say Winston is an outlier because I do feel my diva aim getting worse.
It is an outlier only because people don't think of Winston as mechanical, but he can be. Being accurate with your jumps, very accurate. I know this sounds dumb, but very accurate with your tracking so that you never lose your target, your melee cancels, even your primal rage, and your alternate fire. All of those require mechanics. So yes, Winston is a bit of an outlier, but not so much so that I would be concerned about it.
Makes sense. Yeah, I do agree. Winston mechanics is crazy.
Yeah. I've seen like players like I know Cloudy. Are you familiar with LH Cloudy, the Rhine player?
Yep.
His aim is a little not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. Okay, compared. But somebody like Ahadi, who plays Winston, Reinhardt, Wrecking Ball, his mechanics are pretty good. Mechanics are pretty good. He would definitely be a grandmaster DPS player if he played it. So that's kind of like where you're at. Okay. What do you feel is holding back from improving? I don't play a lot. I usually play after a day of work, so very tired. Totally fine. Makes total sense. I would recommend, if you haven't seen it, have you seen my video, the 2-fight rule?
Yeah.
Okay. Use that, please. Use that. Very important. The more tired you are, the more you need to limit the number of fights that you should be focusing, even when you're practicing. So unless you're on a weekend and you're just playing for fun, if you ever play on a work day, 2 fights, I want you focused. The rest of the fights, it's okay. Just tunnel vision. It's all right. But 2 fights.
Oh, you mean because weekend I grind, so more than 2 fight maybe on weekend.
Yes. Weekend, you're not as tired. Yes, yeah. But if you're very tired, like I understand that. So just focus for a couple of fights, and then it's okay. Let it go. Sleep looks good.
And you think having 2, because like weekday I have I'm scared to get on the high rank account. I use like a plat account. You think that's
as long as it's challenging, it's okay. As long as it's somewhat challenging, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything else in your form that I have questions for. Do you have any other questions for me?
Yeah, I have a lot of today I think because I don't have much because after the new reset patch I don't have much code,
Totally
but
fine.
I do have a lot of questions. I think I can paste the whole thing to you, but we can talk through it. I was just writing it down on my notes. I'll send it to you. Is that okay? Can I?
Yeah, of course.
Can I send you? Okay. And I didn't compile. I didn't compile.
Oh, this is exciting. I love this. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe not too good for your content, but.
Oh no, this is great. This actually 2 days ago I did an entire VOD review where we just talked about maps. We actually didn't look at any gameplay.
Okay.
It was great. I love the variety.
Okay. Yeah. So the first one, Winston, because I play on Korean server, and my VPN, sometimes it doesn't allow me to join chat, and sometimes they don't speak English, all that. So I just said, okay, by the way, can I curse?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I just fuck with the communication. I'm not gonna I just hide chat. I leave voice channel. So, but the only thing is that the nano. It's so hard. Sometimes they nano me when I stage, or sometimes they don't nano me. Even when I ask for it, sometimes I don't. How do you do that?
Can I be honest? I think the most consistent way to play is to have zero expectations of your teammates. Zero. Do not expect them to nano you, even if they should. Just do what you would normally do, and if the nano happens, just now do it better. That's it. Now, you might be thinking, oh, but if I had nano, I would go for backline, but I don't have... It's okay. If you end up on a tank trade, great. Nano tank trade, right? It might not be perfectly optimal, but it is consistent, and that's what you want to aim for.
Got it. Okay. Hey, by the way, there was one YouTube video of you like stream VOD playing Winston. That was so inspiring. I watched that like so many times.
Yeah. Which one was it? The one we screaming or which one? Wait,
No, the what you played?
Hollywood?
No, no, no. There's like just maybe like 4 or 5 hours of stream VOD on your
Oh,
second channel. You
oh,
played Winston,
oh, I see,
and
I see.
it was really good because
Yeah,
like you
I,
you stick with it like against all the counters, and you explained the thought process, where to
sure.
stage.
Okay,
It's great.
good, good. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear it. I mean, I was definitely the mechanics were something else. Let's put it that way. I went back and watched some of that. I'm like, oh my goodness, I do not play this game enough. It was rough, but I'm glad you liked it.
But it's really it's like it's the other way around. Would be watching like a CS pro playing Overwatch for the first time.
Yeah.
Crazy mechanics, no brain, and yours is all brain, and
Yep,
it's
yep,
really
yep, yep, yep.
good to
I
watch.
try to at least it's more relatable with the average player population. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that looks like my mechanics. So, all right.
Yeah. Okay. So the Zarya question, right?
Yes.
Right click last ammo.
Yep.
So I got this from you. One of the tip. It's so hard to do though.
It's
It's
very
almost
hard.
impossible. So how important it is? Because I don't know. I can't do it. It's too hard.
It's okay. So it's one of those things. It's one of the first mechanics I want you to practice if Zarya is in your hero pool. If it's not in your hero pool, then don't worry about it. But it's like the equivalent of landing your melee cancel on Winston. If you play a lot of Winston, it needs to be something that you practice. The nice thing here's what I'll say. Whenever there's a mechanical trick that's very important, like the right click finishing your ammo, it is something that you can practice instead of positioning. It is something that you can practice instead of your bubble usage. Go into ranked games and only practice that over and over and over and over and over again. And what you'll do is you'll start to get a better read of like tracking your ammo, not just through your visual, but also how it sounds, because the weapon sounds different when you're near the end of your clip, right? So you'll
I
start
tried to listen for that. I couldn't do
well,
this.
you can't because you haven't practiced it for dozens of hours. It takes a long. I mean, mechanical stuff takes a while to get. So, is it important? Yes. Is it the most important thing in the history of the universe? No. But if you're going to be putting a lot of hours in Zarya, you need to practice that. You need to practice that.
So this technique is it because I can kind of do it when I do like the regular 100 ammo. It's basically like one right click, then I left click, then in the end I right click. I like this rhythm I kind of get, but in the fight maybe I do like a right click, right click,
Yeah.
left
Yep.
click.
Yep.
Then I forget.
You
At
forget.
that point I
Yeah.
don't know how many. ammos.
Because not everything follows a formula. Sometimes it gets really messy, but you should still try to be ending with alternate fire.
Okay.
Yeah, not every clip. Like let's say that you need that you're trying to track somebody and you're down to like 5 ammo and you're tracking them in the air. You wouldn't try and alternate fire them out of the air. You just shoot them, beam them down, right? But it is something that you're going to be using frequently.
Yeah, I actually tried. I went through some like really good like Hanbing or like those pro Zarya players vaults, and sometimes they have like three like after a right click they have like three ammo, and
Yep.
they forget they would left click that's three ammo. I feel like it's a waste, but I feel like that's kind of a messed up. But
Yeah, it's one of those things that like nobody's going to be perfect at applying it ever, but you try to do it as perfectly as you possibly can whenever you can.
got it, got it. Okay. Second question. It's the bubble teammates with life-saving abilities. So I think I've seen your like Kiriko coaching. Like if you know the Reaper has Wraith, you
Yes.
don't Suzu him.
Yes.
Is bubble the same thing?
No, different. It depends on the situation, of course, but generally a bubble is a cheaper cooldown than a Suzu or a lamp. And the other thing with bubble as well is it gives you value. So like let's say that I get jumped as a Kiriko and I have to use my Suzu. Dang, that's a really long cooldown. That sucks. But also me using Suzu right now doesn't help me. It's just an expense, correct? It just keeps me alive. If somebody gets jumped and you bubble them, it's not only a lower cooldown, but also that's going to reward you with energy so that you could do more damage. Basically, bubble most of the time when compared to something like Suzu or Lamp is something that you want to be using liberally. You want to use it first if you can. Now, don't use it if it's not needed at all, but do try to use it.
So it's okay sometimes if I like, let's say, I bubble the Reaper and he just raised, and I just say,
Yeah,
well,
that's unfortunate. You don't want that to happen. But yes, if you see your Reaper going in, you bubble him, that's probably okay. That's probably okay. Because I would rather the bubble to be used than Wraith. Or I'd rather bubble to be used, get broken, and then the Wraith to happen afterwards, right? Because then he's getting extra couple of seconds of shooting.
okay, so I don't need to say, okay, he has raised, so I'm not
Yeah,
never gonna
yeah.
bubble him.
The only exception is if you're like, I want this bubble myself because I can do a lot of damage with it. Like the rule of Zarya is generally you want to try to be selfish with your bubbles because that's consistent. But if you see an opportunity to bubble somebody who may need it, don't wait for them to use their cooldown. Bubble first.
Okay, and if I'm on the Kiriko, if I'm Kiriko, and because I have a dual, I have a friend who plays
Yes.
Kiriko, and he always bubble me when I'm Zarya, and I always say, "Come on, I have a bubble, don't do that." I mean, he sues
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Can I just tell her never sue me on Zarya?
I think it's okay for her to bubble you because remember, when do you want bubble? You don't wait till you're
I mean,
1
for
HP.
her to Suzu me. She's
Oh,
a Kiriko.
I see. Like when you're Zarya?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She always wastes Suzu.
Yeah, then that's her problem. That's her problem, right? Just tell her that, hey, I will tell you if I don't have any bubbles, and then you can Suzu right?
Okay. Okay. I think we can skip the Zarya session. So tank question. First one, Qfi yeah. So like when I'm fighting like a Genji, I can't look at the Qfi. Then I don't know how many people we have, how many they have.
Yep. Audio cues, do you have the setting turned on?
Yes.
Do you pay attention to it?
I don't think I ever hear. No. I
Okay,
don't.
but mid-fight you don't hear it. So then what I want you to do is I want you to turn the setting on for one game and then practice paying attention to the kill feed for that game. Okay? Then,
You mean turn the audio off or on?
so here's what you're going to do. Let me stream you really fast. So you're going to go in your options. You're going to go, what is it? I don't know, sound. What is it? Oh, yeah, that's right here, right? Play sound when teammate eliminated, play sound when enemy eliminated. Right here, right?
Yep.
Turn it on for one game. That game, practice tracking the kill feed mid-fight, okay? And making decisions around that. Then, when you're practicing another skill, turn it off. The reason behind that is I don't want you to get used to the sound. The sound should be weird and something that you use when you're practicing. Does that make sense?
Wow, okay.
Because if you just have it on all the time, you're going to ignore it all the time. But if you only have it on when you're practicing it, it's going to help you to practice better. So turn it on when you're practicing it, like one game a day or a couple games a week, then turn it off when you're not practicing it. That's it.
So how certain are like a pro player know the number on each side during a fight? Do they
Just
know?
a lot of
For sure.
practice. A lot of practice. Kill feed tracking is something that takes deliberate practice. It's one of the first skills that I practiced when I was playing Overwatch seriously, like 6 years ago. And I'm really, really good at it right now. Like I almost never mess up kill feed awareness. Like it's natural. I don't even think about it. I just always know who's alive and who's dead and stuff like that. It just takes practice.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Second question. Attacking choke. Right. Teammates don't split. As tank, do I split?
What tank are you?
Let's say Diva on Mecha, Busan Mecha base retake.
Are you comfortable with the tank trade?
Okay. So let's say I'm not comfortable.
Then you split.
Okay.
Be patient.
Okay.
Kind of play to bait their attention. Bait them towards point. They come at you. You fly away. You've now given your team the opportunity to get out of the choke. And you've done a better job of it than if you just stood in the choke and just got your teeth kicked in. Like if you're on Busan Mecha Base, that's a great example, right? If you try to walk out Diva versus like Ryan May, right? You're screwed. You're done. It's over. You're not going to win that tank trade. You're going to get destroyed. So what you do is you go underneath the point. You know where I'm talking about at Mecha Base? Like that secret path underneath. You touch point. They're going to turn around. You're going to matrix. You're going to matrix. They're going to fall back. You're going to shoot them a little bit. You're going to matrix. You're going to fly maybe underneath the Mega, or you're going to fly to the high ground, or you're going to disengage, or whatever. That's going to create more space than you brute forcing it through the choke versus that comp.
Got it.
And
So if I
hopefully,
like the trade,
if you like the
I stay.
trade, then there's a chance that you can get it out of the choke. But even then, it might be better situationally if you have the mobility to go through. Now, a Sigma, it's a little harder, right? But also, Sigma's often a little bit more consistent at tank trading than Diva, so you'll feel the need less often to split. But yes, on paper, it is okay to split. It is absolutely okay to split.
Got it.
Your teammates
I'm
might
gonna
flame you,
skip.
but it's okay.
Okay. I'm gonna skip the next one, the stagger one, because it doesn't happen very often. Then
Okay.
this one. Do I count on support heal? I think you already answered it, so I don't. If I without heals, I'm gonna die. I don't stay there. I
Yeah,
think.
don't stay there. I mean, even if you could get healing there, even with a slightly nerfed DPS passive, you never want to be reliant off of like raw sustain mid fight. That's a good general rule, I think. Unless you're being actively pocketed, you don't really want to rely off of being healed mid fight. It should be cycles of value. Put pressure, disengage through corner cover, whatever. Get your heal back up, go back in, go back in, go back in, go back out, go back in, go back out, go back in, go back out. Like a lot of tanking and really DPS and support play too is cycles. There's a Korean Overwatch called The Turn, which means that there's like windows of value and then windows where you chill, and then windows of value and then windows when you chill. And that's really what you need to be doing.
Okay, got it. Yeah, the last. I think we can skip that. Yeah, let's skip that one. Yeah, let's look at this one. So there's a link. It's a YouTube short
Yep.
clip.
Yep.
Can
Which
we
one?
look at that?
The Diva Samoa or Winston Diva Busan? Or?
Busan Winston first round.
Gotcha. Okay, let me turn off my Overwatch stream and then do this. So you'll need to close, or you'll need to click on my profile picture,
Okay.
and then click over to the new stream because it won't be there. Let me know when you're in.
Yep, I'm in.
Got it. Okay, so we got this. Is this right where you want to look at it right here?
Just the first fight, just the
Okay,
Winston first fight.
Got it. So we'll go back a little bit. Okay. So you're playing into Hog, Symmetra. There's some Widow here. We go to point. It's fine. Now what you want to do here is you want to pull the Hog to you and then rotate and dive his backline. Basically, you can use point to kind of pull them towards you. Or this is good too. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, good. Good. Pressure that Ana. It's good. So this is where this is where mechanics are important, okay? So I think mechanics are really underrated for Winston, because obviously you have to be careful because of sleep dart, but this Ana should be dead. You need to land, maybe alternate fire from distance, but even if you don't alternate fire, you need to land on top of her, melee, jump. The landing damage is super important, like super, super important, right? You need to land on her head. Bam! Do you see how you didn't hit her directly?
Yeah.
In addition to that, she's still inside the bubble with you. So not only did you not get the landing damage, but you're actually pretty vulnerable to sleep dart here too. There are circumstances
Yeah, I think I learned the trick of like doing bubble like right when I jump, so I land on the edge and like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of mechanics that we're talking about here, right? Like this Ana is half HP right now, but she should be 1 HP right now. You should be pursuing her outside the bubble and she should die, right? And so that's like, it's basically what's happening is like you're doing the right thing here, but you should have killed that target and you didn't.
Got it.
Good discipline with the bubble there, didn't need it. I can bubble this if you'd like to. I think you could have taken the trade with a Genji there. I think, like, obviously you might not be able to kill him, but you could definitely force a lot of healing resources. And he's the squishy right here. Just use the bubble. Zap, 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 zap. Because this is where you end up dying. I mean, I think this fight was probably lost either way. Well, maybe not. I think you could have put a lot of pressure on there right there. I know you're thinking like, oh, I want to jump point, but this Genji is like destroying you. You need a bubble and trade this guy. Because the bubbles, you see the bubble outlives you. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, maybe we can keep going because this one we just keep staggering. There's no fight, no 5v5 after this. Maybe you see something I can do.
Yeah. I like the staging here. This is good. You guys have infocytes. It's another just non-lethal jump, right? So
The stream stopped. I think. Oh, maybe. Oh, I can get back. Okay, I
Okay, you
got back.
back in?
I got
Okay.
back.
It's just not a very lethal jump. Like this right here, again, you miss the landing damage because you hit the pole. The bubble
Okay.
isn't quite deep enough, so you can't pursue her. And yes, again, the theory there is good, but it's like another situation where like that probably should have resulted in a kill. In addition to that, you really need to fully disengage this. You kind of like don't really know where you're jumping, and you jump right where the Roadhog can finish you off, right? And so now you're 1 HP, and it's just like, again, it's just not lethal. It's just not lethal. And heck, I would even go as far to say here, if you were to jump anybody, I know it's like a little pixely, but you should have jumped the Widow on the left there, not the Ana.
Oh, but then I need to walk a bit, right?
You would need to walk a bit, right? You would need to walk a bit and confirm the Widow. Why? Because she's further away from the Roadhog, right? And you will pull the Ana towards you naturally, right? Either way here, it's again a situation where your setup is right, your timing is right, using the bubble is fine, the target's fine. It's maybe not super perfect, but it's fine. It really is fine. You just needed to get the kill. Like if you have a free jump as Winston and the Ana does not sleep you, she should be dead. That's just how it is. Just like the Roadhog hits a hook, he should get the kill. If you hit the jump, you should get the kill. Or at least force a Suzu, a TP, like a big mess of cooldowns. If you like that didn't even force TP or Suzu, right? Okay, let's keep going here. I really like the way that you're playing versus the Roadhog. And then here, I think this is probably where, again, I'll probably be going for a Widow towards point here. And then once again, though, you see it again. So even if you went for the wrong target here, okay, that's fine. Is that Sleep Dart? I think that was Sleep Dart there. You need to be on her head. You need to be on her head. Look at her HP. You see it at the top left there? I think you did like 60 damage, if even that. It's not good.
Okay.
Primal Rage is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously like your team is kind of getting rolled here, but you've had 3 opportunities to kill this on it, and you failed every single one because you did not land directly on her and didn't actually set up. But excuse me, your setup was good. You want to keep going, or you want to go back to your questions?
Yeah, no, we can close this video.
Okay,
I think that's
perfect.
because my teammates was flaming me for not matching the hog, so I just wanted to make sure the general approach was.
Yeah, no. You did a good job. You did a really good job, and I think that the Winston actually was working. I think that they weren't really marking your flanks, so you're able to kind of stage in their backline for free. You weren't killing anybody with it. That's all.
Okay. Okay. So the diva question. So I saw your Doomfist coaching. You were saying take a close off angle and just shoot. Is diva the same or
Yes.
no? Because
Yeah.
diva, I also want to check the most aggressive guy, right? Then.
Yep. Diva, the reason why you check the most aggressive guy is because it just makes your target priority really easy. Like when you're taking an off angle, because Diva's mobility is a lot more limited compared to Doomfist, you just shoot what you can. Like when you talk about like the short off angle, when we're talking about Doomfist, he can literally go anywhere on the map with his slam and punch. So you could take literally the best angle in the history of the universe that you want to. Diva's slow. Diva is the slowest dive tank in the game. So for Diva, you can't take any angle you want. So you kind of just have to take the best angle that you can and do what you can. Do you want to look at the Samoa VOD here?
No, I have no.
Okay.
I have
Does
more.
that make sense?
I have more stuff. Yeah, I think I have some example of diva positioning.
Great.
Let me send you some more clips.
Sure.
And we're not gonna look at all of them. Probably just a couple, but
That's fine. Okay, so which one do you want to start with here? I've got them all pulled up here.
Can we look at I think the first 2 are good.
Suravasa?
Even the first 2, yeah.
Alrighty, let's take a look here. I'll restart the stream. Same thing, you'll need to click on my profile picture and click over. Okay, so they're on Malga. It's fine to tank trade here if there's not a better short off angle available. But like this is a perfect example. If this was Doomfist, right? What you do is you let them go to point and you could take any angle you want. But Diva's so slow, you might not be able to take any angle you want. This angle here might just have to be okay. I don't like what you're doing here because where does your team set up, or where is your team set up to fight from what you can see?
Around point.
Around point. So your angle needs to be around point. Now I know you're like, yeah, but there's no high ground. It sucks to suck. That's just how it is. That's how it is. The good news is that you can like off angle on the left side in this corner here, and it's okay. It's okay. It's again, Diva's equipped to do whatever the team needs her to do. If that's a tank trade on a slight off angle, that's fine. That's fine. Now, good news here that you're not taking any damage. That's really good. I'm glad to hear that. Sure. I wouldn't chase. Yep. You see what happened is you were positioned to deal with the Cassidy and Malga and Ana. You went backwards to peel a Moira, who was farther away, if that makes sense, right? Like she was far away. So what ended up happening is, who did you give space to?
Yeah, the 3.
The 3, right? Now, the reason why that's so bad is because this is what I like to call inconvenient tanking. If you had traded the Malga, Cassidy, whatever, you would not have had to use boosters unless you wanted to. They would have pushed you, you would have matrixed, and matrixed, and matrixed, and matrixed, and then gone, you know what? I'm going to leave now. Or, oh, that Cassidy's 1 HP, I'm going to push him now. It would have been up to you. This basically is the same value as Malga on a Cassidy, maybe even less because it's hard to like actually finish the kill here. But it cost you a cooldown to get here. Does that make sense?
And you would say the Moira is equally as aggressive as the 3.
Yes, because what does Moira aggressive look like? Very close, right?
Yeah.
What does Ana Cassidy aggressive look like? Not so close. Right? This Ana Cassidy position is a big problem. And you could tell because it's actually this guy who got the kill. And I know you can't really see it, but that's him right there. That's aggressive for him, right? And he can see your team. You needed to deal with that. Now, to be fair, they did use Nano, right? You guys did not have an ultimate, so that is true. But this was your job. You were positioned. You made the choice to control this position here, this angle here. You needed to do that. Now, if you had been here and the Moira had come here, you could have killed her or forced her out. You wouldn't have needed to use boosters there, right? But you were here. You needed to deal with this threat here. That's the thing with Diva. You can't chase people around the entire time. Like even here, like you're second guessing yourself. You need to commit to whatever angle that you're on and get value on that, and then use your boosters to disengage if you start to lose, because you would have gotten cleared out. The Malga Ana Cassidy would have forced you out, right? But you would have baited a lot of attention and gotten a lot of matrix value right there. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah. Yep.
Convenient tanking, so important, so important. Okay. So, little detail here. I like the staging here. I'm a little concerned you're a little early, but I'm okay with it. I do not want to see you taking damage here. This should be full matrix all the way. So you see how you just got your HP chunked there? That's 250 damage that you took there when you should have been matrixing. Does that make sense?
Okay. I think I was looking at my support and think, oh, bigger healing, not too much other things. So
does it matter? Bigger healing, but Moira Kiriko also want to do damage. Let them do damage.
Got it.
The question is are you doing damage right here? Like significant damage right here?
No.
No. So then matrix. That's the rule.
Got it.
If you're not doing significant damage, you matrix. That's it. Because you should be here. I would rather have you here at 650 HP with no matrix. Because can you do damage from this position? Yes, you can. You can drop now if you'd like to and really cause issues on the back line. And then your matrix is recharging, right? Use your matrix when you're peeking people, when you're not doing damage. You're either matrixing, shooting, or hiding. And you need to decide which one of those three I should be doing. I like this position. I think this is fine. I don't really have a problem with this, but you should be at 600 HP here, not 300. And that's ultimately what makes you play what I would call too passively. You don't draw enough attention because you took attention in a way it didn't matter.
Got it.
Honestly, this is fine. Again, this is where you are. This is not a bad tank trade for you. You're using your resources well. I would say I would definitely use missiles on this big of a target at this range. You're going to hit all of them, right? You're going to hit all of them. And that's just more on your Kiriko's a little bit of a mistake there. Okay. I will say Diva on Flashpoint can be a little tricky with a lack of verticality, but I don't think she's too bad. See, this is kind of what we're talking about here. I think this is a little early with where your team is, but look at this here, right? Look at the attention that you're getting. Watch your HP. You see that?
Hello.
Look how little. It's good. It's good. 725 HP.
Oh, okay.
I think you could have matrixed here as well. I don't like that you turned away and stopped matrixing. I think you could have matrixed all the way to the pillar here, right? Okay. But even though it wasn't perfect, you took like very little damage and caused a lot of attention, right?
Okay.
Now here, it's too far. Yeah, I think you just need to be a little bit more decisive. Like here, obviously you're down one, but what should you do from here? Find the close angle.
I don't know. We're down, so I don't even want to go in or something.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. But like, let's say that you weren't down. How would you approach this?
Maybe on the high ground again.
Yeah, just go to the high ground again. Matrix to the position, shoot, matrix again, drop, rinse and repeat, in, out, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I think this is... Yeah, okay, you want to keep going?
Yeah, no, we can close that.
Okay. Big thing, convenient tanking. Find the angle, put pressure on the angle, avoid peeling backwards unless where you are is literally doing nothing.
And if I see a more aggressive guy, then I need to move to that.
Yes, but then if you see a more aggressive guy, then maybe your starting position is bad. Let me explain. I didn't love your starting position here, but it wasn't bad because if somebody was fighting here, they were fighting dangerously for your team, right? They were a problem. You were ready to deal with it, right?
Okay.
So here you set up pretty well. Like I think honestly it was okay. Like you could deal with everything here. Now let's say that you had set up over here. And there's somebody on your back line way over here. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the person over here a threat?
Not really.
No. So is the problem the target priority or is the problem your positioning?
My positioning.
Yes. You were mispositioned because your angle is meaningless. Doesn't matter. So you should go back and peel your team because this angle sucks. But if you're positioned well, then you should not feel the need to go back because you will have something to do. If you have nothing to do, then your position is bad.
Let's say enemy tracer gets on top of my honor. I still don't go back, right?
Yeah. As long as you have something to do, you don't go back. If you have nothing to do, you go back. That's the rule.
Got it.
That's the rule. Because what you'll do is by going back, you might be too late to deal with the tracer, and you will then have given everybody else in the enemy team space to walk forward.
Got it. Makes sense. Okay, now I got it. Okay,
yeah. You could choose. Like this fight, you could have been here to deal with their backline. You could have been here to deal with your backline, to tank trade, right? You could. It's not saying that you have to always trade backlines. You can play more mark the DPS and so on. But if that's what you wanted to do, then you should have set up before the fight. You can't second guess your choice. You have to commit to your vision, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Back to questions.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
Next
it.
one.
Did you want to look at another timestamp here or another YouTube?
Next link, please.
Okay, the Hog on King's Row.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Alrighty. I think Diva versus Hog, King's Row, first point, pretty good. Got a lot of choices to reposition here. So that's just a mechanical mistake. You just cannot get hooked. You know he's on Hog. You need information. This is just this can't happen.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I'm back.
Sure. But yeah, this is just a mechanical mistake. You see this? You don't you don't peek. Where do you go instead? Where do you go instead?
Right side of the fountain.
Yep, right side on the fountain. Pressure that Symmetra out. Then where do you go from there when you get your boosters back?
Maybe the telephone booth.
You could also just take the top right up here, right? Wrap around, use your mobility. Now you're going for backline. Maybe you'll wrap all the way up here, all the way here. Just basically take an angle, force them to go backwards, make the supports worried, right? Use your verticality, right? Use your verticality. I don't even think you needed to go this far. I think you could have played the statue right here. See where your Farah is? I think it would have been okay to do that. But this is okay. Go top right, top right. Yes. Now keep wrapping, keep wrapping. This happens. This is going to happen sometimes. You're going to be setting up as quickly as you can. Now, I will say you should have set up way faster. You getting hooked and being, this is at least 5 or 6 seconds too slow. But this is going to happen. When you're setting up, people are going to be impatient and they're going to get punished, especially with characters like Widowmaker, Roadhog, pick characters. It's going to happen. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because this is forcing resources. Do you see this? You're second guessing yourself again. You notice this? You're second guessing yourself again. Look at the Symmetra. She's in serious trouble. The Ana is not even looking at her. That's a kill right there. That's a kill right there. Maybe you want to wait for your missiles here, but you are positioned here, so you need to be going for this Symmetra or going for this Ana. Don't go all the way backwards.
And I can go in 4v5.
Yeah, because they're fighting. This fight's going. Let's go. Because you are going in 4v5, right? You are going in 4v5. You see that? The question is what's the best target to go in 4v5 for? And the answer is, what is the target that's closest to you?
Okay.
That's it. Just do it. Again, it's convenient tanking. This is inconvenient. Unless you think this venture is 100% 1 HP, it's just not worth it, right? Like, it's just not worth it, right? Do what's convenient. That Symmetra, that Onish, that Roadhog should have had to have turned around because of you, and then you just fly out, right? This is inconvenient tanking is what you're doing. You're pursuing...
So let's say I use the missile on the Symmetra. Do I worry Anna's gonna sleep me?
Okay. Yes. Then what?
I don't know what I should do.
You'll wake up again, right? Immediately.
Oh, okay.
You'll wake up because the Symmetra's going to wake you up, right? You know she is. So what? You then Matrix, you eat the nade or you shoot, you bait more and more and more and more attention. And this time what you've done is you've now created, it's a 4v3 or 4v5. No, actually it's not. It's a 3v3 because you've pulled 2 resources. You see that? And you've lived.
Yeah.
You then, if it's the Symmetra 1, is the Ana punishable? Maybe. Maybe you go in and kill the Ana and then get demacked and die. Or maybe you go, I don't think I'm going to win this. You fly out, grab the Mega, go in again.
Got it.
It's up to you.
Great.
You do what's convenient. You need to have the biggest impact by doing what's convenient. This is saying, they're aggressing on my team. I need to go back and peel them. No, you need to make sure that the Symmetra and Ana do not walk forward. Because that's the best thing you could do for your team. That's the best thing you could do for you. You go back, you get yourself sandwiched between the entire member of the enemy team, and then now you're dead.
Yep.
Good?
Yep.
No, I'm saying as in this is good. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right, defense here. I like this. Shooting the Hog just because he's close. Shooting the Ana because he's close. Good. I like this. I do like this. The only thing I would say here is more like a little bit of micro. So like here, for example, I actually don't think you need to like commit here. I think you can just drop onto the thing here, onto the bus, and then really shoot missiles, whatever, and then just react to the Ana using cooldowns on you, if that makes sense. I think you could have done a little bit more damage here. So I really want you to be like, this is where I think it's like less about your tracking and more about the little details about like, okay, you could have stayed here, or I could have actually done more damage with my missiles, or I could have looked at the Ana while I was shooting so that I could Matrix or Sleep Dart. Because I think here, 100% these guys are not allowed to walk forward. They should be terrified of you. They should be all focusing you down. And so I like the positioning and the theory of what you're doing. I just don't like all the details of how you're doing it right now, if that makes sense.
So not lethal enough.
It's not lethal enough, and it has nothing to do with your tracking. That being said, I do like the theory of what you're doing. I like the angle that you're starting with, and I respect that a great deal. And it worked. It did pull a lot of attention towards you. It just could have been a lot better.
And let's say I try a different approach. I stay the statue and I trade hog. I avoid their backline. That's also fine, right?
Yeah, short off angle, right? Short off angle. Your team is here. You're pushing from here. The hog either looks at you and turns his back to your team. And it's not a bad tank trade. Like, I think what you're doing right now is actually fine. Obviously, taking a lot of damage there, that was really bad, right? So right here, it's good. Obviously unlucky here, but it's not too bad. This is where you're bad. Because you see you're peaking like 4 people without matrixing.
Okay. Oh, I see like 3 people like not peeking, but the hog is doing a lot to me.
1, 2, the hog is doing a lot. And can your team punish the enemy team at all right now?
No.
No, they're behind cover. So you're kind of taking a 1v2 or a 3v2. Or a 1v3, excuse me.
So I should tuck into
make them walk into your team's LOS. Remember the Suravasa where I was like, can your team see where you're fighting? And we were a little bit unsure. Same thing here, but this one's worse. You are trading unevenly here. So that's where you matrix and tuck. Make him walk into your team sightlines, then tank trade. The difference between this and then this is night and day. You see the difference? Major difference here.
Yeah.
And the best part about this position too is you don't even have to shoot hog. You can, but do you see this here? You see the Moira?
Oh, yeah.
You could even also wrap around and flank from behind right now if you want to. You can shoot hog. Let's be very clear. Shooting hog here is totally fine. It's actually quite good. But you have a lot of choices here because this angle is really, really nice. Yeah, see this right here? Bam. You had to disengage. I totally agree with the disengage here. But I think basically the reason that you lose this is not because your initial starting position, but because you peaked 3 people at once and lost a ton of HP.
I see.
Because that Symmetra should have died, or the Roadhog should have been 1 HP, or the Moira should have died, or whatever. So I'm like, you have flashes of good theory, of good positioning, but it's the micro of how much, like when you're using your matrix, the positions that you're taking, and sometimes you're peaking too many people unnecessarily when you need to be tucking in, being a little bit more disciplined.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. I would say we have time for probably one more timestamp or one more code.
Okay. Sure. Can we look at the... Let me see. I think the Ryan one would be good. Let me see what else we have. Ryan Busan, Ryan Payload. Yeah, can we just look at the next one? The
Ryan Payload or Ryan Busan?
Yeah, Ryan Busan, yeah.
Ryan Busan. Let's take a look here. Okay, so first things first, I don't like taking the tank trade directly with this character. He has a lot of armor, he hits really hard, and he can always shield. So what I would like to do is your advantage over this guy is your ability to position yourself optimally. Where do you see right now?
Maybe the high ground.
High ground here. Okay, that will work unless they go main. Then they're just going to shoot you in the back. What do you do then? You see what I'm saying? If they roll out here, they're going to take you there. Well, remember, your mobility gives you options, right? Keep thinking. You can't go here because you're going to get shot in the back, and Ryan's just going to trade you. Okay, where else can you go?
Right side.
You could go right side, right? Take the angle, shoot the Reinhardt from the side, right? You could also wrap this way, go in this room here, and shoot him from here, create a little bit of distance. Basically, you have choices. Just take what the enemy, because the enemy team can't be here and here and here and here. Something's going to be open. It's up for you to find it.
So should I shoot the Ryan in the first place?
No.
Maybe I just avoid him.
Yeah, avoid him. Avoid him until you can get the angle that you want. Prioritizing getting set up on a short off angle first. Like right now, this is not a short off angle. This is short, but this is direct. This is right and directly in front of your entire team. I want you to, based off of what you can see here, where should you go? A couple of options.
I can just stay and shoot.
You could, but I think you can get a better off angle. 2 choices that I see.
High ground or right side?
High ground, right? Because they're here, they can't really see you on high ground very well, so you can kind of drop or use your boosters to go into this room here and sneak on them this way. That will create space.
So do I worry about my support sideline?
Remember the rule, the goal with support. You will not be supported all the time. That's okay. You're going for what we would call a cycle of pressure at full HP, if we can, with full matrix missiles and the whole thing, right? And then if they push you and poke you out, you fly out and worry about your support sidelines.
Got it.
Then you rinse and repeat. But yeah, you're not always going to be in your support sidelines 24/7. You can't. But yeah, see, this is the problem. It's like you're tank trading without an off angle. It's not bad to tank trade. It's not even bad to tank trade versus a Reinhardt. Just don't do it directly in front of your team. This is too easy. The funny thing is actually him pinning you created an off angle for you because he pinned and turned his back to your team. Then he gets shot, he gets naded, he gets slept, and then that's how you're winning this tank trade here. If he had just swung his hammer and shielded, you would have died.
I see.
And see, this is okay. You see how this is creating space for your team? He pinned out of position. You then fly into the back. He has to turn his shield this way. He's looking at you this way. His team is chasing you this way while your team is pushing them this way. So it's actually great. The Reinhardt literally set up the perfect situation for you right now. And then now you can go to high ground, and while your team is pushing this way, you can then drop on them from behind. See, I don't like this here. I would have preferred a little bit of a high ground here. It's not bad, but it could have been a little bit better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Reinhardt kind of screwed up.
I think we can skip that. Can we go to the defense? Just skip forward a bit. I don't want to waste.
Yeah. No,
sorry.
of course.
Yeah, the defense. I have.
Another time.
Just this video.
Oh,
so after
I see.
that first fight.
Got it. Okay,
the second fight.
I like the setup. Our team is here. We want to fight here. You're in a good position to help out. I would not drop here. No point to drop. You can instead shoot people from behind and drop on backline. Remember, you see, your team is shooting them from here. Why would you drop in front of your team when you can drop behind the enemy team? The more angles you have, the more effective that you are. You set up here. You earned the right to shoot the enemy team in the back, and you gave it up.
Okay.
So here, and by the way, do not fly over here. Why? Inconvenient, right? Inconvenient. Instead, use the position that you have to shoot here. Now, if you were starting here, you could shoot this guy. That's fine. But you were here. So instead, you need to be shooting these guys here. So the problem here is not that you're shooting Reinhardt. It's the fact that you set up for a really nice angle and then just gave it up. And I don't know why. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, I would consider, why did I feel the need to drop here? I would think about that.
Okay.
I like that we're staying here, though. Because do you see what you're doing? You're like, oh, my tracer died. Yeah. But what are you doing by staying here? Very important.
I'm keeping the back line from walking out.
Now, you shouldn't have dropped, right? You should have been doing more damage. But this is good. You should be very proud of you staying here. This is what you didn't do in Suravasa. And so you're keeping that Mei, you're keeping that Ani, you're keeping that Kiriko in the choke. And in fact, this is a mistake. You're like, oh, I got to chase the Rein. Don't worry about Rein. Rein's slow. You don't need to be giving up space here. I think it's because this is a 4v5, but you might be able to clutch this. Hold your position. If you die, you die. It's fine. But hold your position, because look at what happens as soon as you leave. Do you see it? You see it? They start to walk forward. They start to be a threat. And the worst part about it for you is not only do you give up space, but you put yourself in a position where you can't really do anything. Like, what can you do here? You're like, oh, I'm on high ground. Yeah, but are you close to anybody? No. Do you have an angle on anybody? No. So what's the point?
So what's the rule of like losing? Because I think I heard that like when you're down people, you give space. When you're up people, you take space. But here, I guess I don't give space.
I think the rule is if you have a good position and you lose somebody, do not disengage. You either completely leave the fight entirely and just go back to spawn, or you clutch it, because you have a good angle. I have seen so many. In fact, I would say that you actually have. You ready for this one? I would say you have a 45% chance to win this fight right now, because you're down one, but you have all the space still.
Okay.
So you're in a better position than this Reinhardt to get picks. Your Widow's in a better position than Mei to get picks. Your Ana's in a better position than their Ana to land nates, right? So yes, you're at a man disadvantage, but you're at a significant space disadvantage until you did this. So the rule is the only reason you disengage is to not stagger, right? But this is not a disengage. You see this? What a disengage is going to spawn, okay? That's not. So here you might as well just fight and die and reset and go next fight. Because you either either you win the fight or you die. Both are totally fine. Dying is not the end of the world. Dying is okay. Dying might prevent a stagger, right? But here, the only way you need to clutch. So the rule is I want you to run away to your team. If you're like, okay, this fight is lost, I can go back to my team. But I want you to try and hold the space if you can. Staggering is being like, oh, I'm going to back up, but I'm not going to fully back up. No. You either fully back up or you hold your angle. That's the rule.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take some notes here. What do you need to work on?
The diva either do damage or hide or matrix. No
Damage, hide,
other thing.
or matrix. Work on cycles of pressure. Can look in replay viewer to coach yourself. Okay, what else?
That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Convenient tanking.
Oh yeah, that one. That's
set up on good angles. Pressure control space from where you are. Avoid chasing if you have value where you are. Short off angles depend on where your team is and the enemy. So like the great example there is that last fight where that high ground on first fight was an off angle, right? On Busan. But it wasn't on the retake because the enemy team's position had changed. And so where you had went on the high ground was great. And then you gave it up. So, okay. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Mate, it's been a pleasure.